If you landed on this video, hello, my name is Krishna and I help high achieving women like you finally feel at home in your body. So I have helped hundreds of women stop dieting, heal their relationship with food, and actually love what they see in the mirror. And it's because I've been there. Absolutely, where I feel stuck, frustrated, and convinced that I'm the problem. So if you're anything like me, you're analytical, you're a problem solver, you've built a career by figuring things out. You know how to get things done, right? But when it comes to this one space, when it comes to your body, it feels like nothing works, no matter how many lists, no matter how many plans, or I should try that you follow. So in this video, I want to show you the system that finally helped me and hundreds of women like me break free from the cycle of dieting, self-criticism, overwhelm. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 seasons. Every single woman needs to move through using real life stories, including a little bit of mine. And I'm going to show you why if you're stuck right now, it's not because you're lazy or you lack willpower. It's because you've been following the wrong sequence. So let's get into it. Let me start with a question. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but just not seeing results? That was me. I was tracking, taking away food, not seasoning my food. I was working out every single day and I was still stuck. And I thought that if I just try harder, I'll get there. But the truth is, it's not about doing more. It's about doing things in the right order. And that is the law of sequences. I want you to imagine you're trying to start a car. You sit in the driver's seat, you put your foot on the gas, but nothing happens. Why? Because you didn't turn the key in the ignition. You can have all the right actions, but if you do them out of sequence, you're not going anywhere. And that's what most of us are doing with our health. We're trying to drive our bodies without starting the engine, right? We're jumping into diets, workouts, and we're restricting things without building the foundation first. So this is where the seasons come in, right? We have our in season, the time for our intentionality towards losing weight. There's our off season, which is the time to restore, rebuild, prime your metabolism, lose body fat. And then your pre-season, where it's time to prepare your body for what's next. So the way that I want you to think about this is like your favorite TV shows. You can watch all the shows that you want, right? One can be for health and longevity. One can be for aesthetics and weight loss, and one can be for performance and strength, but you can't binge watch them all at once. You need to give each one its own time and attention. Because think about it, even elite athletes, the people who have the best bodies on the planet, don't train hard all year. They have seasons. They have an off season, a preseason, and then they're back in season. So why do you think you need to be dieting all the time? Why do we expect ourselves to be on 24/7 when the people that we actually look up to, they don't? Yeah, I realized that. And then I had to ask myself, what if the reason why I'm stuck isn't because I'm not trying hard enough, but because I'm trying to do everything all at once, which is, usual for me, right? But you can have it all, but not at the same time. And that's hard to accept, right? So let's talk about the most beautiful season, the off season, the most overlooked, the most important phase that nobody talks about. Because most of us think that the answer is always to eat less, move more, right? And push harder. But let me introduce you to Queen Sharon, who came to me eating 1,500 calories. Okay, she was tracking every bite. She was not seeing any results, but here's what Sharon and our most successful queens learned. You can't fix what you can't see, right? This is what we call the ostrich effect. It's like avoiding your bank account because you're scared of what you'll find. But when you don't look, you can't make a plan. You're just stuck in fear. And fear is very fearful of itself. So here is a system that Sharon used, that every successful queen used. We're gonna track what you're actually eating for a week. Not what you should eat, okay? What you are really eating. So this way we can create a plan for you, so you're not creating a plan for anybody else. Then we want to calculate your true metabolic needs, aka your restoration era, aka your off season, not a random 1,200 calorie number, but what your body actually needs to function, okay? And then gradually we're going to increase your intake, focusing on energy, sleep, and strength, not just the scale. And by the way, if you want a step-by-step breakdown of these 3 steps, I have another video that walks you through exactly how to do this. I'll link it in the description below, right? I just want to make this video very focused and actionable for you. But Sharon was terrified, right? The system is different than every other one. We're telling her she needs to eat more. And she was tired of having to try new things, but she started eating more. And then this happened. Play the clip.
Your past experiences with different weight loss programs was taking a whole bunch of food away that ended up resulting in you even going into the hospital. So how were you feeling when you came into a program like this and we're like, so we need to get you to eat more? How would...
Okay, so
all about the feeling in the beginning to where you are now.
when I got my nutrition goals, I was like, there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to eat all this food. I'm going to be big as a house. How am I going to eat all this food? And so the first week, it was a struggle. I was like, okay, I have to eat this, you know. Man, once those exercises started coming in, I was like, when I was eating everything, I was like, this is great. I can eat this. I can eat that. I can eat that. Give me that. My husband was like, you can't eat this. I can eat anything I want to eat. Give it to me.
Exactly.
Give it. And still was trying to, losing. My belly went down dramatically. I was sleeping before I started eating all the food, I was waking up in the middle of the night like 3 and 4 times. And we talked about this. We're like, you need to eat. In the morning, I'm like, okay, what can I eat? Pancakes, bacon, eggs. I mean, just food, just eating. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. It is wonderful.
It's bacon, eggs, all that stuff. And you're seeing the progress before you're even getting into a phase where we're actually focusing on seeing like the scale go down. How do you feel being that kind of queen?
I feel great. I'm not the only one in season. I mean, my family is like, how are you going to eat all that food and lose weight like that? Because they came down for Christmas and they were like, you're just eating. How are you eating that food? I'm like, I'm eating it. I'm just eating it, and I'm doing the exercises. So my daughter-in-law wanted to see the exercises and she did it with me and whatever. And, they just, you just don't believe that it can happen until you try it yourself. It makes a lot of sense. It really does. I mean, it gave me the energy to do the workouts. It allows me to get some good rest. And I just feel great.
And here's the thing, if you're still scared to eat more, I get it. But I want you to ask yourself, like I asked myself, what's scarier? Staying stuck forever trying the same diets or finally seeing what's really going on? And by the way, your analytical mind needs to see proof that this works. Once she does, she'll tell you to keep going. And that's when the momentum really starts. Okay, so once our metabolism is primed, then we are ready to be in season, the intentional fat loss phase. But here is where most women will go wrong. They will jump straight into a deficit. They'll go straight to slashing calories and hope for the best. But if your metabolism isn't ready, your body will fight you every single step of the way. And I know you've experienced that. I have, right? But enter Queen Jess. She's a wonderful mother who's tried everything. She was eating healthy, she was lifting weights, and she still found herself stuck, right? But when she implemented this system, we spent time in her off season, as in eating more, building strength, restoring her metabolism, feeling good, having energy. And when she was ready, we created a small strategic deficit. That's not like any of the deficits that social media teaches you. Play the video!
The weight just fell off. The fat fell off because the weight definitely went down on the scale, but I mean, I saw definition that I had finally been looking for. My legs, I never loved my legs more. And I saw muscle and I felt good in my clothes, and I didn't avoid pictures because before I wouldn't. I don't like being in pictures.
Yeah.
I didn't like what I was seeing in pictures, so I just didn't. I offered to take them, or honestly, I wouldn't go out. Justin, my husband, always wanted to go out with friends, and I was like, no, I would have a little fit, like a freak out. So I just stay home.
And the thing is, she never cut out food. She never felt starved. And she still enjoyed time with her family without having to say, I can't eat this because I'm trying to lose weight. So here is what we learned, okay? Only enter a deficit when your body is ready. Keep the deficit small and sustainable. We're not going straight to 1,200 calories. We need to focus on maintaining muscle at this phase, not just losing weight. And also, you should be hungry, but you shouldn't be starving. Starving means you're doing something wrong and too aggressive. And lastly, use the scale as one tool, not the only measurement of progress here. So I will link a video to mastering deficits below because social media is absolutely teaching you to use them wrong, because your body body will battle against you during a deficit. She doesn't actually want to lose weight. I'm sorry to tell you this, right? And this is why a deficit is you being in season. The deficit is your op, okay? She's your opponent. But when you follow through with the right sequence, you make results inevitable. Because trying to lose weight before your body is ready is like trying to bake a cake before preheating the oven. You're doing the right thing, but again, at the wrong time. We keep going back to the law of sequence: off season, season, post season. Next slide. So after my season, I need a post season, an era of recovery from the battle with the deficit, from losing all that weight. I deserve a break from all that effort. This is where most women sabotage themselves. They hit a goal, then they go right back to the old habits, or they try to stay in a deficit forever, and that's when the weight comes back. The cycle just continues to start over. So let's talk about another queen whose name is Jess. So with this queen, she spent years doing everything right. Hours in the gym, eating clean, but nothing worked for her. She runs a successful business, but she was exhausted, frustrated, and at the heaviest she's ever been. And when she finally learned to focus on the right seasons, restoring her metabolism, building strength, and eating enough, everything changed. Her confidence, her mental health, her body transformed, and for the first time, she loved what she saw in the mirror. She got off of her medication, by the way, and she has kept the weight off. And here's what we do to stay out of the lose weight, gain weight back cycle. Because after a deficit, we want to gradually return to a new maintenance. You've lost weight here, so your body's going to need something different. It makes sense, right? We can now focus on strength again because we have more energy. Our workouts here are going to look completely different than what our in-season workouts look like because we have more energy, right? And here's where we're going to track our photos, we're going to track our progress, we're going to celebrate every win that we've accomplished, okay? And if you are like me, you want a system where you want structure. You want to know that if you follow the steps exactly, you will get these results. And so here's what I wish I knew sooner. You don't have to be perfect and eat healthy all the time or work out every single week. Life isn't perfect and we shouldn't expect ourselves to be. So this system is designed to work with your real life, not against it. So let's roll the clip with Queen Val.
There's one thing I never cut out was chocolate. I never cut out chocolate. Even when I went into my deficit, I ate like 2 cookies every day. Because and then I was like, because I can. Oh. And I haven't worn an extra large in a long time. And I feel fantastic about it. Like I've lost 8 inches of this. Anyhow, so yeah, it's unbelievable. My body composition has changed so much. I'm not so worried about the scale anymore. It still gets in my head a little bit, but man, I've learned a lot. Holy cow. So where do you want me to start?
And also, you don't need a meal plan. Those are restrictive. And honestly, they never taught me really anything. Right? What changed everything for me and for a lot of the women that I work with is understanding food. So when I went out with my friends, I wasn't fighting my mind or feeling guilty for eating what I wanted. Just like Queen Tymina, we grew up with our cultural foods, okay? And this system allows you to eat any of the food that you want without any sort of guilt. And by the way, you don't need to be the best chef or have Instagram-worthy meals. If you're worried that eating more means you have to become a whole meal prep goddess, trust me, just keep it simple. Or if you're like me or Sharon and you like having fun in the kitchen and stuff, you can be very creative here, right? And also, you don't need to have a gym membership or have the most fanciest equipment. You can work out from home and get results, but you might end up realizing how strong you are and want to become a gym queen, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But we will start with exactly where you're at, okay? And also, you shouldn't be doing this on your own. This doesn't mean that you have to have myself, for example, as a coach, but you need a community to be reminded that there are other people that are going through this and that you don't have to do this alone. Because we like to do that as women. We like to try and take up all the workload. And then we go into our deep, dark hole and hope that we can eventually get ourselves out. But a community, having somebody to keep you accountable is going to get you so much faster, get you there so much faster. This is our community. This is our queens on our retreat in Bali. They look absolutely gorgeous. But if you do need a coach, a community, a proven system and framework that works, I'll also put the opportunity to work with us in the description below. And the thing is, I know you might be thinking, what if I won't be consistent? What if I travel or I have a busy week? What if I don't want to give up all my favorite foods? What if I'm not a fitness person, or I hate meal preps, or I hate working out? What if I failed at every other program before? I've been there, and that's exactly why this system is different than anything you've done. It's not about being perfect. It's about progress that you can keep forever. It's not about restrictions, it's about freedom. It's not about doing it alone, it's about feeling supported. But this is exactly what every single video I have on this channel is about. So like, subscribe if this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.